Hey everybody, how you doing? Yeah. Welcome to PHLY Flyers postgame presented by Bet365. My name is Bill Matz. Joining me live in the Xfinity studio, it is Philly's #1 hockey beat writer, Charlie O'Connor. Where do we even start with this one, Charlie? There's so many ways in which this game just really went awry for the Philadelphia Flyers. My opening point got ruined by the Michkov goal, although I was happy to see him beat a goaltender for the first time since November. That was cool. But I think my disappointment really lies in something I said just a few minutes ago. So this was your big Keystone State rival game, tied in the standings. Big one.
Yep.
Big one after last night's sloppy loss. And the guys who score the goals, we really needed some people to step up, back-to-back, tough one. Rodrigo Abels and Nick Seeler are your goal scorers until Michkov. In garbage time. But I guess the Seeler one was too. The whole thing was, that was just a mess. That was a mess of a game. It was ugly. Let's start in the back end. Let's start in the net with these Philadelphia Flyers tonight. What a weird sequence of events. So Sam Ersson, gives up a couple in the first. Tough ones, power play goals. One he really should have had, or at least brushed it with his glove, maybe something. But after giving up a third goal to start, I think it was like a minute 16 into the second period, he stays in net. Shortly after, Flyers come down. Cam York slap pass. Rodrigo Abels makes it 3-1. And on that stoppage, that's Aleksei Kolosov's music. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I will say that, I was questioning whether Malkin was offside on that third goal. So maybe on the entry. So maybe they were looking for offside and didn't have a chance to be like, hey, Coley, get your ass in there. And then at the next stoppage, it happened to be a Flyers goal. They put him in. Maybe he was waiting to see how they'd respond before rolling the dice on this guy who, decent appearances thus far this year in limited time, but was one of the worst goalies in hockey last year by the numbers. But what a weird night for Flyers goaltenders. But I want to start with Sam Ersson. That third goal, I think, drove me absolutely insane.
Yeah, that was the bad. And it seems like, based on what we heard on the broadcast, that the reason why there was the delay was because they had told Kolosov to get ready. I guess they just wanted to give him a little bit of extra time to maybe put his pads on or something, who knows, and that he was coming in regardless whether they scored the goal or not. You could have called a timeout, I guess. It doesn't seem like Tocchet likes calling timeouts.
He doesn't. I was begging for one last game in the first period.
He rarely seems to call. To me, that would have been the perfect time. Call a timeout, yell at the boys, change goalies. If Kolosov isn't quite ready, gives you some extra time. But they didn't do that, so I don't think that's a huge deal. In retrospect,
it was just weird.
It was weird, but I don't think it's a huge deal.
No.
Going back to Ersson though, yeah, the third goal, it was one of those goals. It's funny with the way that you look at goals when you're breaking it down via instant replay, when you slow it down. Usually I feel like when you look at a goal in real time, it looks worse, and then you slow it down, you look at the full play, you look at all the angles, you're like, oh, okay, I can see why the goalie missed that one. Maybe it was deflected, maybe you could see there was a screen, something. That one, it looked worse on replay than it did in real, because in real time you're like, well, it's basically a 2-on-1, it's a good pass by Malkin, whatever. Then you see it slowed down. And number one, it's not a one-timer. It's a pass that Chinakhov has to settle, and he does. But that means he can't just slap it as soon as he touches it. There's a couple touches he has to make to settle that puck down. So Ersson's able to slide over in enough time to get settled and to be in position to make that save. But even worse, the shot, if you see the reverse angle, the shot goes off the logo on Ersson's chest and then just slips right. That is literally just keeping your shoulders steady. He lets that slip right past him and go short side. When you look at it on a replay, It looks awful.
That's the puck. If it didn't hit the logo, it was high. It was just above it on the show. That is a save.
Yeah.
That has to be a save.
Has to be a save.
Most of the time, he's basically 1-on-0, like really nice pass. Okay, I can maybe. He had time to get over.
He was over. He was in position.
And somehow it still beats him. And we've said so many times, sometimes you just need to make a save. And that one was very much that. Like, all right, the first one, man left alone. We'll get into Emil Andrae and Rodrigo Abels and whatever the hell went wrong there with special teams. Okay, man wide open on the back door in the power play. That shouldn't happen. It does. Second one, he remembers that goal, and Malkin's sitting there, so maybe he didn't want to commit to the shot fully. I guess.
I'm not going to kill Ersson on those goals just because, and we'll get to this a little bit later. To me, those goals are more on the Flyers' complete and total lack of discipline in the first period than on Sam Ersson. Would I have liked to save on one or both? Of course. You want saves from your goalie. But I will get to criticizing the Flyers for their lack of discipline. The third goal, though, oh my God. And that's technique. That's technique straight up. And that is a shining example of a goalie who's just lost his way. Like, I know people hate Ersson. I know they've hated him from the start of the year. He was not playing this bad in October and November. He wasn't.
No, the numbers were bad, but he wasn't this bad.
He wasn't. Now he is this bad. And it's in his head. He has no confidence. You know what this reminds me of, honestly? And like, I swear to you, I'm just making this comparison just because of the comparison, not because I want to have this be a referendum on the man. But it reminds me of how Carter Hart looked in 2021 when they were playing game after game in that shortened season, and they couldn't throw Brian Elliott out there, and he just lost it. He was a mess. He had no idea what he was doing out there. That's what Ersson looks like right now, and I don't know, like, is Kolosov anything special, at least at this stage of his career? No, I don't think he is, but I don't know how you can justify throwing Ersson out there. Like, he needs a break. He needs a week or two just to work behind closed doors and at least get his game back to the level where it's at least passable, because it's not there. It's not, like, there was a statement during the game where I forget if it was Emily Kaplan or one of the analysts basically said, like, well, Ersson's their only NHL caliber goalie with Vladar. And I stopped and I'm like, you know, yeah, when Ersson is playing at normal levels, he's at least NHL caliber. This version of Ersson does not look NHL caliber to me.
No, that, like you said, when you slow it down, it actually looks worse, that third goal, and then we'll move on to Coley. But like, normally in that, like, in my head, watching that in real time, it's okay, he's pushing over, and all right, he just opens up and it's like an armpit goal. Okay. I hate armpit goals. They drive me nuts, but I can understand it a little. And then you see what actually happened, and it hit him in the chest. Like, it somehow ends up in the net. Just, it's been rough for Sam, and I don't know if we need to pile on, but damn, dude, make a save. Make a freaking save. So Kolosov comes in. It's 3-1. He stops his first 9 in relief, and then Achari gets that goal that kind of rides up him. It's just kind of a weird chip on a rebound. And was there a high stick? No, there was nothing wrong. It hits the camera in the net, and just kind of all goes downhill from there. And then the third period was just loosey-goosey. Who the hell knows? What'd you think of Coley overall? I thought he started strong.
Yeah,
there were some positives and negatives.
I think he was better than Ersson. And
No, absolutely.
I guess here's my question to you, because to me, I think the answer is obvious. Who do you? Because we'll get to Vladar in a second. I cannot imagine Vladar will be ready to go for Saturday's game against the Rangers. Who do you go with on Saturday? Because I go with Kolosov.
I have to go with Kolosov.
Yeah, I think you have to.
I take the unknown over, like, I know we've always made the joke, like, a coach will play, you know, like a bad defenseman if he knows how he's going to be bad, over the unknown. Like, I don't know how this guy's going to make mistakes. At least, like, you know, Noah Juleson, I know what he does well and doesn't. So I'm going to stick with him, and hopefully we can put him in the right position. You have to go with the unknown at this point.
I just think
it's so bad you can't put the team in this position.
I just think, you know, even beyond the team, and I agree with that. But I honestly think, and look, a goalie's always going to want to play, a player's always going to want to play. I think it's unfair to Ersson. I really do. I think with the way he's playing, with as much of a mess as he clearly is right now, I think it's unfair to him to just throw him out there just to let him get shelled, because he desperately needs some time to work on his game. And if Vladar was healthy, you could give him that time. Now it's like, well, I guess we have to throw him out there. Like, no, you don't. You don't, because I don't know if Kolosov is any better, but I know that Ersson can't stop pucks right now because he's just a technical mess. He's lost confidence. He's a technical mess, and you need to, like, this is the time where you're like, you're injured, go sit on IR for 2 weeks, and we'll manage without you. We'll figure something out.
We did get a sort of update on Dan Vladar. I was in here when Emily Kaplan gave the report, Charlie. I was recording something.
This is good news.
What was what's the status as we know it?
Emily Kaplan said that she, this was at the first intermission, she said she had just spoke to Danny Briere, was coming straight from Briere, and Briere said that they just got imaging back on Vladar. It doesn't seem that serious. It's not a long-term injury. Still no timeline on his return, but it doesn't seem like this is going to be a season-crippling injury for the Flyers. Does seem like he'll miss a few more games. That was the impression I got. But that was one of the good pieces of news we got from today, one of the few, that it's not like Ersson, or it's not like Vladar is going to miss, through the end of the Olympic break. At least that's not the way it was presented.
All right, I have a semi-serious question for you before we move on, Charlie. Should Comcast, Xfinity, the Flyers, whoever, stage an extraction mission for Zavragin? We did it before. We did it before with Fedotov. Can they do it again? Because that's my answer. If you could start him on Saturday, it would be Zavragin. I know that's not like a real thing, but maybe you can just steal him, take him in the middle of the night like the Russian Five.
You know what, Bill? I'm just gonna let you have that.
All right.
Because I don't want to be like Bill. That's stupid.
It is stupid.
Of course it's stupid, but you want me to say it's stupid, and I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction.
The goalie situation is stupid enough that it's only like 75% a joke. That's all. Okay. All right. On the other side, we're going to tell you about tonight's game changer, and my apologies up front to Elk and Chevrolet. But first, we got to take our first break. All right, everybody, listen up. I got to tell you how I start my day each and every morning. I start at my Wawa. Now, this might be an ad read, but I think everyone watching right now has to know how much I love Wawa. And now, Wawa's giving us yet another reason to love them. It's the $5 Big Breakfast Deal. For just $5, you can get any Sizzly breakfast sandwich, any size hot or iced coffee, plus a hash brown every morning from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's right, a breakfast Sizzly, a coffee, and a hash brown for just $5 from your local Wawa. That's value, that's convenience, and that's deliciousness all together in one deal. And while you're picking up your coffee, check out the brand new Caramel Chocolate Craze coffee flavors. You can try caramel, you can try chocolate, or you can mix both together for a sweet treat that will start your morning off right. The $5 Big Breakfast Deals for a limited time and exclusions apply. See Wawa.com for details. No need to overthink breakfast. Just grab, go, and get on your day with Wawa. Gotta have a Wawa. It's time to tell you about Xfinity, because I gotta ask, what if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? Well, that's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense, and that lets you stream the game even when the whole family's online. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. There's no annual contract, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment is always included. Take it from me, a lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken. We hate contracts. Well, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it should stay reliable, and the price should stay put. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Go Birds. It is time for tonight's Game Changer, driven by Elk and Chevrolet. Elk and Chevrolet together. Let's drive. Unfortunately, this has to be not the most positive. Tonight's Game Changer is special teams and discipline.
Yeah. This was my big frustration point.
The overview of special teams is Flyers 0 for 4 on the power play. The Penguins 3 for 4. The difference in the game was 3. They've done it again, and it really
they've done it again.
It keeps getting worse. Yeah. Like the numbers of the penalty kill, the power play, they're so bad that you just think, Well, they're going to have like a game where it works because it's hockey. It's basically pinball out there. Good stuff happens even to bad teams. But no, they are just unable to convert any of their power play chances, and the penalty kill, as much as I know we started the show killing the goalies, I also have to point out how stupid and undisciplined they were to start this game. Your top 2 defensemen, Cam York hooking, what was it, 23 seconds into the game?
Yep.
Less than 4 minutes in, Travis Sanheim, high stick. Was that in the offensive zone? I believe it was. And then later on,
I think it was in the defense.
Was it? I can't even remember.
I think it was in the defensive zone. It was still bad, still unnecessary, but yeah, I think it was.
It's just another dumb stick penalty, regardless. And then I did think the call on Hathaway was a little weak, but he's chasing a completely meaningless hit.
Yeah.
The puck is long gone, and guy just gives him a little shimmy, gets out of the way, clips his leg, gets called for tripping 100 feet behind the play. And there's your 2 goals on 3 penalties right there in the first period. You're down within 12, 13 minutes, 2-0.
I mean, first, let's start out with the penalty kill.
Yeah.
I'll get to the discipline because I really want to rant about the discipline. But penalty kill, okay. They went into this game. And yes, I'm cherry picking here, but also I'm not because we're now coming up on over 2 weeks of this. Going into this game since New Year's Eve, they had a 59.1% penalty kill efficiency rate. Okay. After this game, I believe they are now at 53.8. Like, it's a coin flip. It's gotten to the point over these last 16, 17 days, you literally can flip a coin every time they go on the penalty kill as to whether the other team's going to score a goal or not. The penalty kill is absolute dumpster fire. I said it last night, I'll say it again. It's an absolute dumpster fire right now. It is one of the biggest reasons why they are on this 5-game losing streak. But in saying that, you know it's a dumpster fire right now, okay? You go into this game. Everybody knows that they're playing a lot of games in a short period of time. They haven't been able to practice. The penalty kill is a mess, okay? So you go into the game and you know this is one of our flaws, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, you're playing against a Penguins team that has a 27% efficiency power play, that has multiple Hall of Famers, including the best player of his generation, who is still point per game somehow at age 38 on that power play. So you know you have a weak penalty kill, a penalty kill that's going through it. You know you're playing against a really good power play. You would think, and this is just as much on the coaches as it is on the players, but I'm gonna admonish the players first and foremost. You would think that the primary focus going into this game is stay out of the box, especially early. Because in the third period, if the game's tight and you're in the second game of a back-to-back with travel, yeah, you might take a couple because you're just gassed. You're trying to salt away a lead. It's a tight game. Maybe you take a couple penalties. You don't take one 23 seconds into a game, and then you don't take another one 3 minutes later, and then you don't take another one 10 minutes after that. They had 3 penalties in the first 13 minutes, and it's not, and I said this on Twitter, I'll say it here. It would be one thing if it was Michkov, or if it was Emil Andrae, or if it was Denver Barkey, and you could be like, oh, these kids, they just got to learn. They got to learn game management. They got to learn that, in these types of situations, second game of back-to-back, struggling penalty kill, you got to be more careful with your stick. It's not those guys.
No.
It's both guys on your top pair. It's the veteran guy on your fourth line who's like in the lineup because he's supposed to be the smart veteran who just took a bad penalty a night before that killed a power play of yours to end the second period. The discipline, it's just not there. And look, yes, you need to be better at killing penalties. You do. The penalty kill needs to be better. That's on Todd Reardon, and it's on Rick Tocchet. Rick Tocchet even admitted after the game yesterday, I obviously wasn't there, but I watched the post-game interview. He's like, I'm a PK coach. It's embarrassing that my team's penalty kill is struggling this badly. We need to fix it. Okay, at least he admitted it, but yeah, this is on Rick just as much as it is on Todd Reardon. But the players have to know the reality of the situation, that your penalty kill is stinking up the joint, and their team's power play is real good historically, and not take unnecessary penalties, and they do it 3 times in the first 13 minutes of the game. That was mind-boggling to me.
There are, and the discipline to be on the penalty kill, that is one, obviously, especially, stick penalties drive me freaking insane. And the first 2, that's what we have. And then there's the discipline when they are on the penalty kill.
Yes.
Rodrigo Abels gets pulled out of position, and then Emil Andrae goes, and he's in no man's land. When I see the first power play goal, when I see an easy net front tap in on the power play, my mind immediately goes to Wayne Simmons. And I just wonder, like, I would love to ask him, when you see that, do you just think, Jesus, if that's how I got defended when I was on the power play, how many more goals and how much more longevity would my career have had? Like, that, he just took a beating every game. The Flyers, they are neither aggressive nor are they taking away the hard ice in the middle on the penalty kill right now. The tap in tonight on the first goal, go back to last night, Dahlin just has the puck and he's like, all right, I'm up here. Oh, they're not defending me. I'm going to take all the ice I want. I'm going to rip a shot from the top of the circle and no one's even going to get in the way. No one's going to get a stick in the lane. No one's going to push me after the fact. Like, there's just nobody in the difficult areas. Like, it's such a thing. Oh, man, if we could just get to the hard areas. It's super easy against the Flyers PK right now.
Yeah, it is. It is. And, again, you would assume this stuff is fixable because we've seen the penalty kill be good through a lot of the year, or at least not be bad. But you got to fix it, and they're not fixing it.
There's just no fix right now, and it certainly doesn't help when those first two penalties, your top two PK guys are in there on defense. Like, Emil Andrae shouldn't be on the ice on the PK.
Yeah.
Like that shouldn't be, he shouldn't be out there. And then Garnet Hathaway, also part of the PK rotation in the box. Yeah. They score on his penalty.
And again, this is what the problem is, and it was the problem last night. I made this point last night about it's not just the turnovers, it's the guys that are making the turnovers.
Yeah.
It's not just the penalties, it's the guys who are taking the penalties. And you're right, like the Garnet Hathaway one was that a little bit borderline? Sure, but also he's rushing out of position. You don't need to do that. The Sanheim one, and I'm a big Travis Sanheim fan. I think he's had a good year for the most part this year. I'm happy he got on Team Canada. You can't take that penalty. You got to be in control of your stick. The York penalty, like, you could make a case that, well, he's preventing a high danger chance, but also, and this is the real problem, it's 23 seconds into a game you have to win. How do you put yourself into a position where you're giving up that kind of chance 23 seconds into a game you have to win?
It's truly incredible, Chuck. Also, and then on the other end, and I mean, newsflash, the power play stinks. 0 for 4. And like 2 first period power plays. It's not as if you weren't basically afforded the same opportunity that Pittsburgh was to try to get your offense going with some power play time. And the first power play, 1 shot on goal. The second power play, none until the final 30 seconds. And then Michkov and Barkey got a couple of chances. 3 shots on goal in the first 2 power plays. Like, you just didn't create anything. And it's just these two things can't both be the worst. And that's what we're looking at right now. Yeah. There's a portion of the game played on special teams, and when it's happening, the Flyers are at a wild disadvantage, and it doesn't matter if they're good at 5-on-5. Right now, they could be a lot better, but for the most part this year, they've been a good 5-on-5 team. Doesn't matter.
They've been decent.
It doesn't matter if you can't win a special teams battle ever.
Yeah. And I want to say something real quick, because this has been bothering me. And I shouldn't let social media and I shouldn't let the comment section bother me. But it is bothering me because I think it's unfair. I'm seeing people in the chat be like, oh, Charlie's finally criticizing the Flyers. You know why I'm criticizing the Flyers? Because they're playing bad.
They deserve it.
You know why I didn't criticize the Flyers for the first 3 months of the season, or didn't criticize them that much? Because they were playing well. I don't criticize the Flyers overly when they're winning and they're overachieving. When they're underachieving and when they're playing poorly like they are now, I criticize them. So, like, the idea that I'm some sort of shill for the team, like, no, I'm not taking that. They're not playing well, and I'm criticizing them now. When they were playing well, I'm not going to criticize them. You can criticize them when they're playing well, and I'll call you crazy.
I do. I think we get... See, I appreciate it because we get both. Mm-hmm. We get the shill for the team and also negative, and I find that fun. Like, that means we're probably doing a pretty good job.
Yeah. It's just... I've been getting that on Twitter, and it's like, you know what? No. I'm not going to go crazy criticizing a team when they're in a playoff spot. But when they're doing this, I'm going to criticize them because they deserve criticism.
In terms of discipline, focus, whatever you want to call it, getting the details right. We can go, that's the special teams, and that was the special teams and discipline. Very much tonight's game changer. Again, allow 3 power play goals, lose by 3. Details, discipline, focus, hit the freaking net. Can you just hit the net? In the first period, they had 4 shots on goal on like 17 attempts, maybe 20 attempts. They had, it was like 8 blocked and 5 misses. The event summary got changed like 3 different times for misses and blocks because that always happens.
Because of gambling.
But it was basically like 12 shot attempts that didn't get there and 4 that hit the net. Guys, you know, Michkov, and I'm going to say nice things about him later, but that first power play, right wing side of the ice, in the slot, puck on his stick, here we go. Chance to get back in the game, misses. Sanheim, a different point. High slot, puck on his stick, no one directly in front of him, shooting lane. I think he missed the trapezoid.
Yeah.
I think he missed by like 8 or 10 feet.
Yeah.
It was incredible, and this was a problem. It especially stood out.
Sanheim missed a big one, maybe like, I think it was like 7 or 8 minutes later, a chance in the low slot. Missing shots, especially in the first couple periods, major issue.
It just killed them tonight. Dvorak in front with an open net, couldn't find a way to get his stick on it and tap it in. The finishing right now, Chuck, is, listen, they did score 3 tonight. 2 were in garbage time, whatever. It's the first time they've scored more than 2 in 5 games, so progress, I guess. What the hell's going on? They suddenly just have no chance. Even when they created opportunities tonight, just like they did in the last game. They outchanced Buffalo by a considerable amount, but just couldn't find a way to hit the back of the net. And tonight, same thing. They created plenty of chances.
Yeah, and I'm going to run through, because there are 3 primary statistical models in the public sphere that measure expected goals. We have evolving hockey, we have natural stat trick, and we have money puck. Okay, so I'm going to go through what each of those models projected the Flyers to score in this game per expected goals. Natural stat trick in all situations has the Flyers at 4.80, so nearly 5 goals. Money puck has them at 4.35, so a little over 4 goals. Evolving hockey has them at 5.28. They created a lot of chances.
So we can call it like 4.5.
4.5. Yeah. Let's say 4.5 expected goals. They ultimately score 3, but they left a lot of meat on the bone. There were a lot of opportunities they had to score. They just didn't. Finishing is a major problem for them right now. Glad they got a few at the end, especially Michkov, and we can talk about him a little bit later. Love the fact that he finally put one on the board. Maybe that'll make him feel a little bit better about himself. But they created, I said it last night, I thought last night they created enough chances. They didn't finish. Tonight they created even more chances, and they still didn't finish.
There's just this confluence of suck right now that they can't seem to get do one thing well. Like, all right, you know what? Penalty kill's a mess. The discipline, defensively, whatever. Let's score. Let's score a little. Let's push for some offense. But when they do that, they're not able to finish. And so many times you see chance down at one end, come down, the other team finishes, and it's a 2-goal swing. Like that is happening time and time again as well. And it's just really killing momentum like that 4th goal did tonight. When you talk about guys, the leaders of this team, the veterans, the high-paid guys. Flyers had all the momentum in the second period. They played very well for the most part. Travis Konechny, turnover. That leads to the 4th goal. They restore the 3-goal lead, and they never look back. It was never a game after that. Yeah. It just little things like, man, you can't get stripped of the puck in the face-off dot.
Yeah, and it's not like Travis Konechny is a bad hockey player. You're going to see fans be frustrated. It's not like he's bad.
That's why we're frustrated.
It's not that he's a bad hockey player. It's that was the worst possible time to be soft on a puck. Because that's what he was. Yeah. And Travis Konechny is not a soft player. Travis Konechny is not garbage. Travis Konechny is not significantly overpaid. It's just that he was awful. And it was the worst possible time to be awful. And again, goes back to what I said yesterday. It's the vets that the guys look to. It's the Sanheims, it's the Konechnys. It's even at this point, he's not really a vet, but he's the leading scorer. It's Zegras. You're looking to those guys. They're the guys who you're looking to lead the way. And those guys are not coming through. Last night, Couturier wasn't coming through. He wasn't great on the penalty kill tonight, I don't think. But at 5-on-5, his line was good. I think it was more Barkey and Michkov, particularly Barkey, but he was at least okay. Last night, though, he was awful. You're looking to your captain. You're looking to your top scorer. You're looking to the guy who everybody in the room, and I'm saying this about Travis Konechny, everybody in the room says Travis Konechny is the best player on the team. The best player on the team can't make a play like that.
No,
You can't.
absolutely
Not at that moment.
Absolutely not. That killed the momentum they had built. They still had a lot to overcome, but you could see it. You could see them actually take over the game, and then they get that goal, and, well, doesn't really matter from here. It's 4-1 near the end of the second. Like, what are you going to do? Yeah. All right. On the other side, we're going to give you tonight's Unsung Hero presented by Togo, but we got to take our second break. All right, everybody, I've got to tell you about a local business that's been helping Philly homeowners and businesses stay pest-free. We're talking about Evans Pest Control. That's right, because this isn't some giant national chain. They're a family-owned, community-focused pest control company right here in the Philadelphia area, and they've been earning the trust of our neighborhoods for years. Evans Pest Control uses state-of-the-art equipment, safe and effective treatment options, and their techs go through continuous training so they're equipped to handle anything and everything. We're talking rodents, insects, termites, and even bed bugs. And they offer priority services and consultations, which is huge when you have a problem with pests. Right now, it's that time of year. Maybe it's a little cold. You're not thinking about pest control, but you want to stay on top of this. That's why you got to call Evans Pest. So if you see signs of pests or just want to prevent them before they start, reach out to Evans Pest Control. Visit evanspestmgmt.com to schedule your free consultation. That's Evans Pest Control at evanspestmgmt.com. If joint or muscle pain is keeping you from doing the things you enjoy, whether it's walking the dog, working out, or just moving comfortably throughout your day, it's time to get the care that you deserve. At Rothman Orthopedics, you'll find expert treatment for injuries and chronic conditions alike, with personalized care focused on helping you move better sooner. Rothman's 190-plus fellowship-trained physicians specialize in specific areas of the body and a multitude of orthopedic services, including hip, knee, spine, foot, and ankle. You name it, Rothman's got it. From diagnosis to discharge, they provide their patients with every service and procedure necessary, such as x-rays, orthotics and bracing, MRIs, physical therapy, and much more. Rothman proudly serves dozens of communities across Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Florida with 30-plus convenient offices, urgent cares, and walk-in centers. Visit rothmanortho.com/PHLY to schedule your appointment. Rothman Orthopedics, your mobility, our mission. Let's go Flyers. And with that, it's time for the Unsung Hero presented by Togo. Togo, the leader in operations outsourcing. Let Togo handle the work that gets in the way of your work. You call the plays, we execute. Togo. Before the goal was scored, Matvei Michkov was going to get this regardless, because it finally happened, Charlie. The thing I've been waiting for, a Matvei Michkov fight. Yeah. I loved it so much. His first career fight comes against the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Was this his actual first formal fight?
This was his first career major, yes.
Okay, because he has been in semi-fights.
He's been like...
He's thrown some punches.
Last night he got one glove off and was swinging, but they, I think they didn't give anyone any penalties on that. Sure. Tonight was his first career major. He also gets 2 for roughing rather than, you know, the full 17 for the instigation. But Denver Barkey gets rocked. Michkov doesn't even think twice, drops the gloves. All right, here we go. Loved it. Loved it very much. And one of the not just because I love fights and I wanted him to get in one, but it's because it was in defense of Denver Barkey. And it does appear that these two are building a little bit of chemistry now that they have been paired together. They hooked up on that late goal that Michkov scored, his first goal against the goalie since November 29th. Maybe this will get him going. 2 points for Barkey as well. It looks like he responded to the scratching. Yeah. But I just wanted to say hats off to Matvei Michkov. It has been a rough year. It's been a terrible year, quite honestly, in terms of his development and his production and our expectations, not meeting them. Maybe this is something that gets him going. I am glad that he is engaged enough to see his teammate get laid out in the neutral zone. Clean hit, good hit. Vulnerable position, turned right into big hit, but who cares? It's 4-1, 5-1, whatever the hell. Go fight the guy, and he does. I very much appreciate that from Matvei Michkov, especially in that situation, and in defense of a 165-pound rookie. Yeah,
I think what I'll say is that given the way the rest of this game went, thank God we got the third period. Thank God that there were some positives to come out of third. Not in terms of like, oh, they scored some goals. Like, who cares?
It doesn't
matter whether they lose 6-1 or 6-3. Who gives a crap? The Michkov of it all in the third period was very encouraging on 2 levels. Number one, he scores a friggin' goal. That's great because, as has been discussed a lot over the last week, he had not scored a goal against the goalie since November. and you could tell it was eating at him. Like, he didn't need to read an article saying that he hasn't scored since November.
He's aware.
He's fully aware. You could tell he was pressing. You could tell he was frustrated. You could tell he was, going home and kicking himself for all the opportunities he missed and all the passes he missed and whatnot. You could tell it was bothering him. Hopefully, this loosens him up. That's number one. I'm hopeful that it will, because I actually think at this point, like, while the conditioning might be a problem in terms of like catching up, I think he's mostly back to where he was last year. It's just that now he's in his own head. Hopefully this gets him out of his own head. The other thing, and you brought it up, the fight. To me, like, as much as I was angry at the other players for taking penalties in a game where your penalty kill stinks and you don't have Vladar and they have a good power play, that's a good penalty to me. Take the instigator, because number one, the game's over. Number two, your tiny rookie teammate just got bulldozed. Was it a clean hit? Yeah, honestly,
sure, yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
But hey,
I don't care.
They're probably targeting him. They're probably trying to hurt him. They're probably trying to inflict pain onto the small kid who's just getting his feet wet at the NHL level. Somebody should stand up for him. And the fact that it was Michkov, the fact that he drops the gloves, the fact that he's not a fighter, everybody knows he's not a fighter, but he drops the gloves, he gets into a fight. Hopefully that, number one, rallies the team, but also gets if there's anybody on that team that is grumbling still about the fact that he didn't come to camp in the best shape, the fact that like everybody on Twitter thinks he's the only player on the team that matters, if there's any tension in that room whatsoever regarding the Michkov of it all, hopefully that fight has everybody just be like, nah, this kid's awesome. I really hope so.
I am hoping, and I think this might be, playing into it a little. Michkov has never really gone through, I guess, like before he got loaned to Sochi, like he was going through it with a coach who just was like, yeah, I don't like him. But like, he really seems like he's not, like he's thinking too much. He's out there like, I don't even know what this guy wants from me. We're playing a style that might not be conducive to my skill set specifically. What was Rick Tocchet when he played? Oh, he was a hell of a player. Scorer, power forward. He was a badass as well. Yeah. He appreciates this. Back-to-back nights, Matvei Michkov drops at least one, if not both gloves, and starts throwing some punches. You can't say he's not engaged. You can't say he doesn't care.
Yes.
If nothing else, you get that, and then he scores the goal. An assist shy of a Gordie Howe hat trick. What if he had... He gets his first Gordy before he gets his first hat trick. That would be actually
it would have been
very
funny if he would have gotten like a cheap secondary assist with like 30 seconds left
on one of those late power plays.
Gets a Gordie Howe hat trick in a game that they had no chance of winning. That would have been very fun.
I assume when we get to your segment closer to the end of the show, we're going to talk a little bit more about Barkey's game. But just the chemistry, because yes, they hook up on that goal at the end. Michkov gets in the fight, sticking up for him. They were good together tonight, though. They were finding each other with the puck. They created some chances. A great pass from below the goal line to set up that really, really nice Barkey chance that he just couldn't finish. I like these two together. I don't know if Coots is the center for them. Maybe he needs to be, all the centers are basically the dads of their line at this point. Like maybe with him there and the rookie and the wild Russian, like that's the dynamic they're going for. But I really like those two playing together tonight. No,
as bad as this game was, and it was bad. It was bad on a lot of levels. The Barkey, or I guess it's the Michkov because he's on the left. The Michkov Couturier Barkey line was undeniably very good. Going through their advanced metrics, looking at natural stat trick, looking at their expected goals for share. So what share of the expected goals the team generated when each of these guys were on the ice. Barkey led the team at 96.7. Couturier was second at 96.44. Michkov was third at 96.18. So basically, when they were on the ice, they created everything, and they gave up nothing. The line was very good. Now, look, maybe this will get me, get people throwing darts at me on the, we love Michkov group. I think Barkey was the driver. I think he was by far the best player on the line.
I think he was the best player in the ice.
I don't think Michkov was bad, and I liked what I saw from him, especially in the third period when he seemed to loosen up a little bit after that fight. But, I mean, to me, Barkey was everywhere in this game. From the jump, Barkey was everywhere in this game, and he was the one who was really carrying that line. Couturier was the least effective of the three. He was just kind of like the facilitator and helping them, keep pucks alive and bump pucks. But I think when you're looking at Barkey and Michkov, I think Barkey was I think Barkey had a legitimately great game. I thought Michkov through 2 periods was okay. And then in the 3rd period, obviously did cool things.
We know, we say it all the time, imperfect stat, maybe not the most telling, but every Flyers forward was either even or the Dvorak, Konechny, Grebenkin line, all -2. Coots, Michkov, Barkey, all +2.
Yeah.
Combined plus minus a +6, Charlie. Love that combined plus minus. I just like to point it out when it suits my when it suits me, and then when it doesn't, I go, who the hell cares about plus minus?
That line was real good, and we talked about it before the game that we were intrigued. We didn't think that line really ever got a long look because there was tons of times with Michkov with Couturier, then there was lots of times with Barkey with Couturier, but they never had all 3 of them together. Number one, I think Barkey has completely erased the conversation about him maybe getting sent down after this game. He was great. Number 2, you gotta give this line at least a couple more games. See if they can build off this.
You
It was
do.
the only positive thing about this game, I would say.
And to the line construction, I know lines are like your least favorite topic, but
Because they changed them all.
Yeah, they changed it. But just in terms of like building from this game, take away what you can. That's a positive. Keep that line together. Yeah. Maybe Dvorak away from Zegras isn't the best idea.
Yeah, I think you may need to put Zegras back with
I
that
think,
was real bad.
Man.
For both of them, honestly. But I mean,
Yeah.
Dvorak wasn't effective. Zegras wasn't terribly effective either. Those 2 lines were not good.
All right.
Put them back together.
A couple odds and ends before we get to other stuff, Charlie. I wrote down Emil Andrae, and my only note is woof.
Yeah, it was bad game. He had that one really bad turnover in the 3rd, but that was not the only mistake.
No. Again, maybe it's Abels on that PK, but also, like, I don't know, man, don't vacate. Just don't defend nobody on the penalty kill. Like that one. How you feeling about Emil Andrae right now?
How am I feeling about him? I'm feeling that he's a young defenseman who's going to go through growing pains.
Okay.
I think that's where I'm at. Is he perfect? No. Is he going to have games like this? Yeah, but like this is... Everybody says they want to play the kids. They want this year to be about development. Well, guess what? This is development. This is what development looks like, especially for a young defenseman. He's going to have games like this sometimes, and you're just going to have to deal with it, or else you're just not cut out to root for a team that's developing talent.
Maybe I'm not. That could really be the case, quite honestly, Charlie. There's a very good chance I'm not cut out for it because I want to play the kids, and then I want them to be awesome.
Right.
And that's it. Like
Right.
that's
Right.
Those are the 2 things I need together.
Yeah, at the same time.
Or they only play kids, they're all bad, and then they draft 3rd. Like I'd take that as well, but obviously that's not
Yeah,
that's
that's
not the
clearly not what
direction. I was all set after the first 23 seconds to really criticize Cam York tonight. But I did think he steadied after that.
He had the nice
he's
slap
been in a
pass
little
to Abels.
little bit of an offensive, like as has the rest of the team, really, but a little bit of an offensive slump during the 4-game losing streak prior to tonight. No points, -6 with 2 minors. Takes a 3rd minor in the last 5 games tonight early, but then comes back, makes up for it with the slap pass that sets up the Abels goal. Cam York finishes the game with an assist, 1 hit, 1 block, and a +1 rating. He's steadied after the beginning. I don't know. I just need more out of York. I feel like it was there. Like we saw it, and I'm waiting for him to find that level of consistency. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I think they need more from all the defensemen at this
That's
point.
fair.
And
Yep.
that's kind of like Drysdale, I thought had a strong game last night, not as strong tonight. Andrae obviously struggled. Sanheim took the bad penalty. York took the early penalty. They need a lot more. And maybe I am perhaps biased here. I do not think Noah Juleson is very good.
I would really like to see someone in the comments be like, actually, Charlie, like I don't think there's a growing contingent of Noah Juleson fans. I am coming to the conclusion that maybe they just put his slap shot on the point on the power play. Now, like handling the puck and things like that might be a bit of an adventure, but honestly, who the hell else is going to do it?
I mean, I don't want to kill the guy.
No.
I think he's a number 7, and he's now being used as an every night defenseman because of injuries. And you're seeing, in my mind, I'm seeing him getting exposed on a regular basis.
Very much. I do love love when he winds up for that slap shot, though, because he gets some juice on it.
Man, if only he hit the net and not the posts. He's hit a lot of posts.
He really has.
Yeah.
It's for a guy who doesn't take that many shots. You'd think he'd hit fewer posts. I was always enamored by guys who would hit the post. I was like, I couldn't do that if I was trying.
Yeah, right.
I have no chance of hitting the post. There's just no way. I'm not even aiming. And it's like, you only took 7 shots in the last 4 games. How'd you hit the post 3 times?
It seems like he hits a lot of posts. I don't know. Did he watch way too much D2 the Mighty Ducks when he was growing up?
Yeah, maybe he thinks they are playing posts, Charlie. What do we got? So we have 15 minutes left, which means it's the exact right time for our third and final break. You've got to channel the fresh start energy of the new year and finally launch your business with Shopify. 2026 is the year you rewrite your story, own your future, and make your entrepreneurial dreams come true. Start your business with Shopify in 2026 and become who you're meant to be. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs have already made this leap from household names to first-time business owners just getting started. Shopify gives you all the tools to easily build your dream store. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand, and marketing is built in too. Create email and social campaigns that reach customers whenever they scroll. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/allcity. Go to shopify.com/allcity. That's shopify.com/allcity. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side. Philly sports fans, you gotta listen up because it is the season of gifting, and if you're looking for something truly unforgettable this year, I've got the perfect gift idea. You've got to check out the incredible work from Philadelphia sports artist Jordan Spector over at SpectorSportsArt.com. I personally own a few of his pieces myself, and trust me, these aren't just posters you hang on the wall. These are museum-level artworks of the greatest moments and icon in Philly sports history. His collections come in prints, canvases, and even athlete-partnered trading cards. And get this, one of the newest cards actually includes a piece of Brandon Graham's real game-worn jersey from that matchup in New Orleans. You know, that big one against Kansas City. It doesn't get any more authentic than that. So if you've got a diehard sports fan in your life, or you just want to treat yourself, this is the kind of gift they'll talk about forever. So head over right now to SpectorSportsArt.com. That's SpectorSportsArt.com, and grab something epic for the Philly fan in your life. 93 likes now, not bad. I know the game sucked. It's nothing worse than losing to Crosby and the Penguins. But remember, a Michkov goal, a Michkov fight, that's worth a like spike. Let's get it going here. Get us to 100, 150.
We have over 400 viewers.
Oh, well, come on. This is ridiculous then. You can't, this can't be the Flyers power play. You know, it has to even out a little here, you know? All right. Let's go to Charlie O'Connor's 3 stars of the game. All right, this should be fun.
Well, I mean, there's 2 obvious ones.
Yeah, there are 2 that we can easily go to. So let's see here. Time for Charlie O'Connor's 3 stars of the game. Who, my friend, is star number 3?
All right, 3rd star, Nick Seeler. That was a nice shot.
That was a nice shot.
It's a really nice shot.
You know, we're looking for the vets. We're looking for the guys who've been around a while to really step up, and it was Nick Seeler.
Yeah.
Comes away with the Flyers' 2nd goal of the night.
It's a really good shot. I got to give him credit.
Every now and then he does something with the puck, and you're like, you really were good at one point, weren't you? At some point in your life, you were the best player on your team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's carved out a really nice NHL career for himself. Great guy, great guy in the room, really nice person. And he can do plays like that 5 times a year.
We all remember he was ready to give it up before he got that call from Chuck Fletcher, and he's been solid for them ever since. He has been a nice find in terms of veteran depth defenseman. Nick Seeler, star number 3. Who is star number 2?
Yeah, star number 2 is Matvei Michkov.
Hell yeah.
Obviously, he was in my opinion, the 2nd best player on by far their best line. And then the 3rd period, the only reason why our breakdown of this game isn't 100% negative is basically because of the 3rd period that Matvei Michkov had.
Yes.
Because Michkov sticks up for his young teammate and then gets his hockey gods karmic reward by finally getting a goal. Hopefully that loosens him up. But hey, dude fought. He scored a goal. He had great underlying numbers. Yeah, Matvei Michkov, easy choice for 2nd star. Hopefully this is a sign of good things to come for Mish.
It's going to be real simple. 10-game goal streak going to the Olympic break. recharge, work out, do everything on the ice of the facility while, your country doesn't get to play in the Olympics. Come back, lead us to the playoffs in the second half. Super easy. Number 39, let's do it. Who is tonight's first star?
Yeah, first star of the game. It's Denver Barkey. He doesn't score a goal in this game, but I thought he was everywhere. And maybe he should have been, given the fact that he was the only guy who didn't play last night. We talked about, he's going to have fresh legs. Well, he had fresh legs. He looked real good. He was making smart plays, smart passes, creating chances, nearly scored on a couple of occasions. There was one play where he gets stopped right in front. Of course, the ESPN commentators say Michkov gets stopped. I looked at you after, I'm like, pretty sure that was Barkey, Bill.
I will say, it's not quite Andrae, but they do just have a similar posture.
Yeah, they're both small. I guess that's true. They both shoot left.
Yeah.
So I guess I could see it to a degree. I don't have I have a problem sometimes distinguishing between Andrae and Michkov at quick glances. I don't have a problem distinguishing, but I don't know. I guess I watch this team every day. Also, you're an ESPN commentator. You should be better at that. I don't know.
Well,
just saying.
We can only.
You also probably should have known that Jamie Drysdale wasn't making his return to the lineup tonight. He made his return to the lineup last night. I don't know. That was another thing ESPN commentators were messing up regularly. Just saying. Maybe,
They have the great music though, and that's all we really wanted.
But I thought Barkey was great in this game. Fantastic game all around by him, and hopefully this means that he will get to stick around and shake off that little dip that we saw this past weekend.
Ava, why are you spending money on super chats? Damn it, come on. Anyway, before we get to Super Chats, got to tell you about our Flyers Charities Carnival giveaway. And guess what, everybody? I've been telling you all along, we have 10 general admission tickets, plus a grand prize of a Travis Sanheim sign and snap, and a grand prize of a Cam York sign and snap. We have been given 10 more general admission tickets and one more grand prize, a Christian Dvorak sign and snap at the Flyers Charities Carnival. To enter, all you got to do, scan that QR code on the screen right now, give us your information, and sometime next week we will pick a whole bunch of winners at random. You'll either get general admission passes or be one of 3 grand prize winners. Real easy. Scan that QR code. Let's get to them Super Chats.
Super chats.
First one here. Deedle Nick has been our leadoff hitter for 3 or 4 games in a row now.
Sure.
Well, that was fun. Have Mish and Saquon Barkey been a combo previous?
I
like that.
Yeah.
Been a combo previously. Maybe the Zegras Michkov combo needs a year or 2 to mature if they even fit at all. I mean, it's absolutely asinine. They're not together on the power play. But in terms of this, I don't think they've played together.
No,
at least maybe in a mashed up line when things get changed at the end of games. But I don't know if I've noticed it. It's been a lot of Brink. It's been Cates, but I don't know if I've seen Barkey.
I think this is new, and honestly, this could work. And look, it's lines; they change them up all the time. But Couturier can, in theory, if Michkov is getting his jump back and he's getting his confidence back, and Barkey plays the way he did tonight, moving forward, this is a new normal, which probably isn't. This was a great game by him. But if this was his new normal and Michkov gets his jump back, Couturier can work as just the guy who is F3.
When they were set up in the offensive zone, Couturier was effective. Yes. It was the rest of the time I never noticed him. And just in terms of Mish getting his game back, the pass to set up that great Barkey chance, that was last year Michkov.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
All right. Next one here is from Turbo Flyers. 52-39 and fight. Best feeling since the Ducks game. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's a close second.
I'm glad that the team gave fans something to be excited about.
Just something for me.
Otherwise, this game would have been just a total slog.
Something for me to not be just upset for an hour, because no one wants that. And then I got to go home to my wife. I don't need to be mad about sports, but listen, sports over everything. It's great when they're winning. It's yes, and now my mood is affected by this damn hockey team. All right. From Who is Mike Mall? Has the clock struck midnight? Remains to be seen. They have a real uphill battle. Again, like we said in pregame, I don't know if I can ever call a game in January a must-win.
Yeah.
But considering the 3 they have on the road after this, man, they really, really need to win this game on Saturday.
They got to be the Rangers.
The Rangers stink.
Yeah, they got to be the Rangers.
They're playing terrible. They're the only team in the East below 500. Come on, bro. I wanted 4 or 5 points out of these 3 games. 2? It has to be 2.
I mean, look, probably... If even more than the Michkov fight, the Michkov goal, Barkey having a good game, probably the best development from tonight was learning that Dan Vladar is not going to miss a lot of time. Because if Dan Vladar was going to miss a lot of time, then the clock would have struck midnight. If Vladar only misses a couple games and like maybe comes back, for the Utah game or comes back for the end of the trip, it's a 5-game losing streak. It's going to hurt their chances of making the playoffs. It's going to put them behind a lot of teams. That said, they will still be close enough to stay in the mix. And then it just kind of comes down to, do you guys stay healthy? Do you guys have good second halves? I don't think the clock has struck midnight yet. I'd be speaking a different language if Vladar was out for a while.
No, if they're like he's out for the year, it's 12:45.
Or even if it's like, well, he'll be back after the Olympic break.
After the break, yeah.
There might not be any games that matter after the break for this team.
It's 1:45 if that was the case. All right, let's see here. This one is Local Drunk 69. What's up, friend? Second time this year, Mish dropped the gloves for a teammate while Captain Culture skates away. Coots sticks up for a teammate for once. You were the captain. What I'll say about that is he did it for Michkov at least once or twice last year. Yeah, one was in the preseason.
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah.
It was when Michkov was still getting his feet wet. Look, if you want to hate Sean,
he was there.
You can. I guess that's your problem.
He's not endearing himself right now. Maybe this new line will breathe life in all three of them.
Maybe.
All right. This one is AOB 52. Barkey and Michkov together have given me life. No, like we were saying, this is the sole highlight of tonight's game is the way those two played together is promising for Barkey's future, him staying here this season, and maybe getting something out of Michkov in the second half. So it's at least a bit encouraging. Dylan Forster says, not even Vladar would have stopped the 3 that Coley let in, with the exception of the Asiari goal. How do you say? I can't say his name. Achari. I feel like I said it right earlier. Achari goal, purely based off of his height. I don't think Kolosov is to blame. The third was terrible. The Crosby goal, it took him an hour and a half to like recognize what was going on. Like Crosby could have shot that puck 3 times. Yeah. He didn't get over very quickly. Some rough rebound control, I guess you can maybe blame on that first one because that was one of those. But overall, like, I don't know. He was fine compared to the other guy. So let's see what he's got on Saturday.
And also, you have to account for the fact that, like, you're throwing him in mid-game after not playing in the NHL for how long? Like, I'm not expecting him to be perfect.
Yeah, he had one start, one relief appearance months ago.
I'm going to grade him on a curve in this game in a way that I'm not going to grade Ersson on a curve.
Coming in cold after his team scored, which is very funny.
Weird time.
It's just odd. All right, this one is Hingle McCringleberry, 33.
I mean, it's a great sketch.
What is wrong with Konechny? He looks like a shell of his former self since halfway through last season. His contract may age worse than Couturier's.
I don't
think we're in like a decline right now.
I honestly just disagree with that. Like he obviously missed what he missed a game due to that injury.
Yeah, the slash. And
he was scoring a ton. Before that,
when he had
a bad game tonight, and he made a really, really bad mistake on that turnover. I'm not going to be like he's been awful. The goal scoring is seemingly back, or at least it was back prior to that little injury.
Prior to the injury and everything getting mixed up, because we've been shuffling forwards in and out of the lineup the last 2 weeks or so. When it was Dvorak, Zegras, TK, that was like the most consistent line of the season.
I think you got to put that line back
together. You have to put that line back together immediately. All right. From Turbo Flyers, would it make sense to try 52, 22, 39? So Kate's between Barkey and Mish.
No, that's Dvorak.
Oh, yeah, 22. Yeah.
Did people really hate Couturier tonight? Maybe.
I think they just want someone who they think will score a goal one day.
They just want someone who's not.
They just don't like Couturier. They don't like Couturier and Michkov together. I get it. I don't love it. I just think like Devo and Zegras have to be together.
Yeah.
Now maybe these two could act as the same thing, and you could free up Zegras. But either way, like they just don't have the right centers for the kind of wingers they have right now. And we're honestly, just going to be shuffling guys. Yeah, maybe, and this line was good tonight. I don't want to break it up immediately.
Maybe one of the things that I need to accept about the Couturier hate is that, like, it's been a while since he was really good, and
it's been a long time.
And there are probably a lot of fans, especially those who came on board because of Michkov, who just like don't remember him being good. So they don't have any, like, it being really good, being Selke good. Like, it's literally a different generation, and therefore they're not going to cut him any slack whatsoever because this is their only baseline of, like, when they think Sean Couturier, they just think contract, old.
And with that, we're headed to overtime. Go to allphly.com to continue watching tonight's show. Yeah, 2019 was a while ago. Yeah. Like, he didn't play for a while.
2020, yeah, it was 2020.
1920, he won the Selke, right?
Yeah, it was the 1920 season. That was a Selke year. And then the year after that, he was not as good, but still Sean Couturier.
But then he got hurt.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is this is Dylan Forster again. If anything, the penalty kill just generates screens to get scored on. Tired of the collapsing low, no aggressiveness by protecting the goalie. They block him. Yeah, the way
that is what they're doing. Yeah.
By the way it's going now, just be aggressive. Just go nuts. Like, pressure everything, and if you get... They're at 50%.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with that, though, because then you're just going to be 50% in a different way. I want them to actually fix it, which is controlled aggression, which is what they were doing in October and November.
I would like...
The details are gone right now.
Yeah.
And Dylan, you're right. Like, they're sagging back. They're not having pressure up top. I mean, remember those goals that Dahlin scored last night where he was just, like, rushing right downhill into the low slot? Like, when you have your F1 providing good up top pressure, that's not possible. They're not, because they're all running around like chickens with their heads cut off.
Do you think part of the... I know they just haven't practiced in a while because of the schedule. Do you think part of the problem is that this power play and penalty kill practice against each other? So, like, they never see competence. Neither side is ever up against anything competent. And they get to a game, they're like, what the hell? What the hell? All right. Raymond Hanstein. A Barkey pass to Michkov should be called a Barkov. That's fun. I like it. Deedle Nick. No one's criticizing Charlie's criticism. If they were a mustache present, have Saquon Barkey and Mish play together yet seemed like a good combo. We don't think so.
We don't think so. I think this was the first game.
All right.
I'm not growing a mustache. Sorry.
It's not happening. You got to just wear the fake one again.
So wear the fake one again. I threw it away. It was a cheap one. I could always buy more.
DA Flyers man says Noah Juleson is the man. Is that a middle finger or one?
No, I think it's a one.
Oh, cross fingers. Okay.
He's a fine number 7.
I like him. He's just not like, he shouldn't be playing every night.
I think he's been exposed these last couple games. He's not the only one.
But he's like the one that you go, oh, yeah, he's the 7 and he's playing. Yeah. All right. Obi-Wan says, both of you tell Brenna how much she means. Brenna is... If you had to listen to me recording these ads, Brenna is doing such a fantastic job. Plus, like, her work on the show when we're live. From Kiva 5630, do you shop/trade TK if no playoffs again this year? If no, then why? I just don't think that's what they want to do. Like, they want him here.
Yeah, and also he's got the no movement clause.
Plus,
so, I mean, do you shop him? Like, I don't think they're going to do that. But even if they made that decision, you're not getting much for him because he can pretty much pick his spot, and he doesn't want to leave. He might just say no.
And players do that a lot. Yeah. That's why they negotiate the no move clause, because they don't want to go. As Wish always said, their stuff's there. This one is David Shub. Michkov goal, Michkov fight, smooth bark dog apple. Yeah, it was the only
2 bark dog apples.
He also got the primary on the Sealer goal. So good for him. Yeah. All right, from Ava Graham. Look at this. We love you, Brenna. Oh yes, we do. We love you, Brenna. Your laughs, cute too. When you don't produce the show, we're blue. Oh, Brenna, we love you. She's a poet. Look at that. Ava, I'll be home in like half an hour.
You married a good one, bud.
I did. David Schaub, that's hilarious. Anyone else mad on the Flyers vet/leadership? I'd rather watch young guys grow into roles. Way more fun, especially if we're losing anyway.
I'm certainly mad on them over these last few games.
Certainly.
To be sure.
Here's the thing. What young guys? Like, the guys who are here right now are kind of the only guys who are ready to be here.
Yeah.
I guess if Bump's healthy, you call him up. That's one wing spot. Sure, that would be cool if you replace Forster with him. Forster's been out since December 1st. other than that, like, Luchenko ain't coming. Porter Martone is in college. As much as I wish he would just drop out, education's pointless. Just join the NHL.
I think,
like,
I think
these guys aren't coming.
Yeah, I think that
Jordan Kyrou.
If I had to guess, I would guess that this is more directed towards, like, imagine
the direction.
Oh, well, no, just like imagine a world, and this is not a world we live in. This is not a world we even really could live in, given the contract situation. But like, imagine a world where the Flyers don't have Travis Konechny, Travis Sanheim, and Sean Couturier. Okay, then who are your team leaders? They probably naturally become, Trevor Zegras, Noah Cates, Cam York, Jamie Drysdale. That might be what he's talking about. Like, I want to see those guys step into the leadership roles. Like, you're free to think that, but that's not what they're doing.
I was pro that 2 years ago. It's just like we resigned all the guys, or they had contracts that are unmovable. All right, next one is David again, I believe. Can't wait for our new guys to get here and move on. Agreed. I would love to see the next generation. They're going to keep some vets around, but young guys got to push them out of those spots. It's not going to be, oh, yeah, here you go. Clearly, guys aren't going to be handed spots.
They got to do what Denver Barkey's doing right
Everybody thought Bump was making this team out of camp. Yeah. And they were like, nah, wasn't good enough. All right, and last one here from JH. Ersson Persson bus is currently in flames on 95.
It really is.
Yeah, that thing's in the shop. It's on blocks. It's about to be crunched into a cube.
Yeah. Look, as I said, the main reason why I don't go Ersson on Saturday is more than anything else. Like, I don't think it's fair to him.
It's not.
He needs to sit for a couple weeks.
It's not fair to the people who pay it. It's a home game. Yeah. Maybe if it was an away game, 20,000 people pay to get in there. Yeah. Maybe if they're Rangers fans, they'd like to see it. But
but he needs to sit. Like, he's clearly a shell of. And even what he was at his best this year wasn't all that great, but he's a shell of even that. Like, you can't put him out there.
He's unplayable.
He needs to reset, and then maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe after the Olympic break, you get a more acceptable version of Ersson. But this version, he's just it's sad watching him play.
The fear now is like Vladar knows all this and is like, I gotta just rush back, and then we're in this problem for the rest of the year.
Fingers crossed on Kolosov then.
Coley, let's do it. Let's go. Let's clean slate with Kolosov, and that is all the time we have for you on PHLY Flyers postgame presented by Bet365. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for hanging out. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow us right here on YouTube. And hit the like button as well. We're not at 150 yet, and that makes me sad. Michkov goal, Michkov fight. Give us a thumbs up just for that. Follow us on Twitter at PHLY_Flyers, and follow the podcast wherever you get those as well. I am Bill Matz. That is Charlie O'Connor. Thanks, as always, to Brenna. Be excellent to each other.
We all silly like the mayor.